Welcome back, and joining me for a look at the day's market moves is Odwa Magwentshu from Trive Investments. Odwa, thanks so much for joining us today. Now, it's been a busy week, earnings still filtering through. We've had some economic data out and those Fed minutes also moving markets. Let's start there. What have you made of trade this week? We kind of started off strong, but it does seem like the optimism has started to fade.
100%. As you say, I mean, the week started very hot. We had new all-time highs in the US in particular. Also in South Africa, we had some 52-week highs as well. So, I mean, everything was starting off very well, anticipation of the Fed minutes coming out. And with those minutes, we saw some numbers, I mean, not pleasing to what the markets are anticipating. And that's what we're seeing pulling back. I mean, but in terms of earnings side, we did see some great earnings releases, one of which being, of course, NVIDIA.
Let's touch on NVIDIA, right? Those numbers really good off the back of that AI boom, right? I mean, the company CEO, Jensen Huang, spoke about how strong demand is and how it might even outstrip supply. Does that present opportunity for other chip players?
It's more of a quality thing right now, especially with AI. It demands so much to run it, and NVIDIA currently has that quote-unquote monopoly on that market. So, I mean, I think right now NVIDIA is in a very strong position, even though there is such demand. It might just mean that the likes of Microsoft might get their chips a bit later. But, I mean, on this front, it does seem like NVIDIA is in a good position. They also announced a 10-to-1 stock split, and that's I'm assuming they're trying to get more investors involved in this boom that they're currently facing.
Sticking with the chip sector, but bringing now geopolitics, how concerned are you about the brewing tensions between Taiwan and China, especially as we have TSMC within that region?
Now that is quite concerning. It's the second day today of military drills by the Chinese government in the Taiwan region, and we also, if you look a few months back or a few weeks back, the U.S. has also pushed for more tariffs on China, just to and that was quite aggravating, as you can imagine, on the Chinese side of things. China did state that the reason for these drills is they are looking at, they were just practicing it, but it's also because of the stance the new president has stated on Monday as well, saying that they are looking to strengthen their ties with allies outside, which is obviously the United States. So now those two things coming into play, I do think that it is quite concerning for Taiwan. TMSC. So that's going to be quite tricky, that relationship. If things do escalate, it could end up, dampening the business's ability to create those machines.
Now, we'll be keeping a close eye on those tensions, because we definitely do not want that to kind of spill over. Let's move over to the UK. Retail sales there fell more than expected, down 2.3% in March. But on the bright side, consumer confidence improved in May. What have you made of those prints and what they suggest of the health of the UK consumer, as well as the health of the UK economy?
Okay. Now, the UK economy has been going through some struggles. I mean, there has been a write-up, I forget the publication now, but there's saying that a lot of people felt that it was a mistake. And if you look at the interest rates and inflation, they did manage to bring those down in a good way. So, I mean, in that front, that has been good. But with these retail numbers, what we're seeing is a decline across the board in terms of volumes. So, I mean, in the motor sector also got hurt a bit. We had non-food stores going down by 4.1%. And right now, it does seem like the retailer, just as in South Africa, we are counting our cents, and it doesn't help that they are now also, they announced elections coming up as well. So it's quite tense in that region in particular, in terms of everything that's happening. They would need rather a strong direction in terms of where the country wants to go. But in terms of retail sales and everything, we are seeing that people are just not spending as much anymore.
Now, back at home, all eyes are on the SARB as policymakers prepare to deliver an interest rate decision next week. Now, I mean, consensus is that they'll keep rates unchanged yet again. But I'd like to get a sense of what do you think the commentary will be like, especially as we've had two prints of inflation showing an ease on that part, even though it is, you know, still on the upper end of the SARB's target range of 3 to 6%. But I guess some easing nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, so we have had, as you said, some nice easing, and I think that of course the governor is going to lean towards that and speak on, you know, how inflation has been cooling off. However, just like what's happening in Taiwan and the United States with the Fed minutes, it is not it's not clear roads ahead right now. A lot of things are on the cards. So, I mean, we have a potential crisis in the Middle East right now that could continue to escalate further. I mean, that could then hurt us in terms of petrol prices, and obviously that will then hurt inflation again. On the positive end, we are on 40 plus days of no load shedding. So people or businesses have been able to manufacture and not losing out on productive time at this moment. So that is also helping in terms of lowering costs. I mean, I think Pick n Pay released results recently, also showing that, I mean, they spent almost 700 million on diesel. So, I mean, easing that expenditure would then lead them to reducing the prices of the products that they sell to consumers. So there is a lot that staying as is could be correct for the moment, but there is a lot on the cards right now in terms of if after the elections next week we go back to load shedding again, that could then be another turn of worms we don't want to see.
So an unclear path for monetary policy, but hey, at least we have the lights on. Let's get into some company news quickly. Quantum Food delivered a surge in earnings. That's thanks to higher egg prices, as well as a reduction in feed material costs and load shedding. Another poultry player, Astral, also released numbers this week. Those numbers shooting the lights out, as it also benefited from lower diesel costs as well as lower levels of load shedding during the period. Is the poultry industry an area you dabble in, especially as there are still risks at play? I mean, both Astral and Quantum have warned of risks of avian flu yet again.
That's correct. I mean, everything is going well right now. Eggs and chicken tends to be the primary source of protein for most South Africans. So that's where, I mean, of course, that they might be gaining some traction for. That's what makes them attractive as a business to go for. However, we are now, I mean, if you, as you said, you know, the revenue was great in terms of profits, but it was from a low base, as of course, with the avian flu. In Astral's results, they did say that, you know, we could see some birds migrating back to the south, which then increases the risk of having that avian flu come back again. So everything considered, right now everything is going perfectly. Load shedding is kept at bay, and the business could have a few months of good performance, but again, risks are still there.
Otto, we have about 30 seconds for your stock pick. What are you picking today?
I'm picking Nvidia. Nvidia, of course, with the great results, the 10-1 split, and also, I mean, the monopoly they have. It is a great company, and that's what I'm picking today.
Odwa, thanks so much for your time and those insights. That was Odwa Magwentshu from Trive Investments.